So the 2026 housing market's pretty fucked, huh? Because tell me why something like this... Tell me why this costs $25 million.
What?
Now, you would think that, hey, I don't know, since housing is a bloody necessity, houses would be pretty affordable, right?
Wrong!
Predatory real estate agents and landlords? Oh, you're looking for a new home in a brand new hellscape gentrified neighborhood?
Yes! Yeah!
Pledge your services to the forces of evil and darkness. But the thing is, right, so like, you know that one documentary they made about VR chat all the way back in, I think it was 2018, yeah, Ready Player One?
Because I have phantom pain!
What if you and me did this? But like, instead of actually doing Ready Player One stuff, because I don't know what they do in that movie, what if instead you and me, we filmed our own episode of House Hunters International, but replace International with Peak? Well, good news, person watching this video. You see, before you joined me, I was actually on the phone with a local real estate agent. Pretty cool guy. He works for a place called Filth and Friends Pty Ltd. Now, he gave me a brochure. I've got it lying around here somewhere. But more importantly, he told me about some really good potential real estate for you and me. So, yes, in a world full of violence, bloodshed, shipping, today you and me, we're gonna try to work out and rank where's the best and worst place to buy a brand new home. Now, with all that introductory stuff out the way, look, if we're going house hunting, we need to start with the thing at the top of the brochure, right? Because, like, that's just how these kind of things work. That's just, like, certified list moment. So, potential house location numero uno, the Prelude. I found that brochure, here it is. And it says here that the houses in the Prelude are thoughtfully compact. I don't really know what that means, a real estate buzzword moment. But the thing is, right, so like having a look around this place, having a gander. Sure, it's cool, but it's kinda more on the low-key side, you know, like maybe a little bit too much. I fear that living here, it might be a little bit boring, which isn't a problem if you're somebody who's looking for something like that. If you're somebody who wants to run away to the mountains, never to be seen ever again, like that's you. I can't hate on that. But for me personally, yeah, I think it's a little bit too boring because like let's really think about this, person watching this video. What is there to do in the Prelude, huh? Like what are the activities? Well, look at Lava River. Talk to your neighbors. You can go on a guided tour through very cramped hallways. And that's another thing. This place is cramped. Like really, really, really cramped. For the most part, it's a long and narrow hallway after, trust me, you're not going to believe this, another long, narrow hallway. Yes, space. Big problem here. Like, when I get home, I don't want to cosplay the Nutty Putty Cave incident. I like space. And I also like my house not being too hot. But now the question is, how are we gonna rank all this stuff, huh? I think I know how. Every location we go to, I'm gonna rank based on 3 different categories. The vibes, your neighbors, and the local homeowners association. Because I mean, come on, person watching this video, trying to buy a house in 2026, you will have to deal with old people shouting at you because, I don't know, like your bin's the wrong color.
Listen, knobhead. If I want to have a swim in my own bin...
So, the Prelude. The vibes, I think I'm gonna score it a 2 out of 5. Now, sure, it looks nice in an industrial bistro coffee shop kind of way, but all those other things, space, the heat, and that type of stuff, I am gonna have to dock it a few points. As for neighbors, well, it's pretty much just these guys, kind of boring people in a pretty boring place. So another 2 points. And finally, the HOA. I'm gonna minus these points from the total of the 2 other categories because HOAs are really irritating. Yeah, another name for Prelude's HOA members. Frauds! Like, who are the bosses here? Maurice? The Swords Machines? The Cerberus? These guys, they just become fodder later on down the line. But that being said, though, because they're so useless, they probably won't want to get in your business all that much. These guys get 1 point. Absolute pushovers. So, Prelude, out of a total 10 possible points, it gets 3. You should write that down, by the way. It's really important in our decision-making process. And now, with the prelude perused, it's time for us to journey to location number 2. Right, so the big Limbeezy, it says here in the brochure that Limbo is your open-plan living dream with views for as far as the eye can see. Okay, what am I going to say? That sounds quite nice. And having a look around...
I tell you what though, folks, that's bloody nice.
Or is it? Hello, my name's The Beak and I have a confession to make. I did a bit of research into the local housing market here before you joined me. Like I called a few people, you know. What they don't tell you in the brochure is that, sure, Limbo, it's sunny, it's tranquil, there's quite a bit of space, ooh. It's got a banging sound system. You can go and visit a old church or a castle if you want to. How it feels to spread misinformation. Limbo is not real. Fuck, these real estate agents, man. They're trying to sell us a house in a place that's one big illusion. Like, you see these barriers, right? Like, what happens if your house is on the other side of them, huh? Like, can you break through the barrier? And like, if everything on the other side of the barrier is an illusion and your house is also on the other side, like, does that mean that your house is also an illusion? Like, am I an illusion? I don't know, but what I do know is that, well, two things. Firstly, Limbo is one massive scam, and Filth and Friends real estate agents are deliberately using it to boost their portfolios. And secondly, hey, I'll tell you what, that church, man, that thing was pretty cool. Even so, I can't wait to go home and kick my feet up. What the fuck? The only thing Limbo's got going for it, the only thing that may tempt you just a tiny bit, it's your new neighbours. You've got the street sweepers. Look at these guys. They look like they can grill a mean piece of meat. And this guy, the cancerous rodent. I know, he seems quite cool. I like the cut of his jib. Still though, vibes? I mean, what vibes? It's fake vibes. 1 point. Your neighbours. Well, if it wasn't for the rodent, I think Limbo would be on the lower side. But since the rodent is here, like my ghost, I'm thinking 3 points. And finally, the HOA. Okay, so this is a bit of an interesting one because on the one hand, you have another fraud, the hideous mass. But then, on the other one, you have the very cancerous rodent, Agony and Tundra, and V2. So, because of that, I think we need to give Limbo's HOA 4 points. So, in total, Limbo gets... Naught. Limbo gets fuck all. This is the place where all those fake gurus who sell courses live. I don't even want to look at it anymore. On to the next place, please. So this is a main contender for the best place to live in Ultrakill, is what the internet says. The brochure just says one word, pure class. But what I think is that it's a good idea for us to not count our eggs before they chicken. Because, look, yeah, if we're talking lust, then I think it's time to address the very tall elephant in the room. Now, corpse of King Minos. Look, while you and me, we could go on and on and on and on and on about this guy's story, like who he is, why he is, how he is. Look, person watching this video, I'm not interested in that. Fuck no, I'm looking for a brand new house. God damn it. So, I don't know about you, but me, I don't want to come home from work one day and then, my home! That, and I'm also privy to the fact that, sure, while any reasonable person would see a massive HOA skeleton walking around and think, now this will probably lower property value because any second your house is always at risk of having this happen. Let alone having a blinding light invading your privacy. Go away, Minos, I'm trying to sleep! Again, Filth and Friends real estate agents are trying to fuck us, where we see a chaotic force of nature. Do you want to know how they've described him in the brochure? Huh? Do you want to know what it says here? An iconic skyline feature, a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. You can see him from almost anywhere. A ground-shaking attraction. But even still, I reckon even if we remove the corpse of King Minos entirely, like deatomize him, or hop in the teleporter and go back in time to the golden age of the City of Lust, nuclear take, I reckon it's still not a great place to live. Why? Well, now I want to tell you a story. The year is 2010, and on Christmas morning, Child Me unwrapped a game that would go on to become one of my all-time favorites. Call of Duty Black Ops. Now this is the 7th mission in Black Ops' campaign called Numbers. It's really fucking cool, by the way. It's all about interrogating this scientist called like Dr. Clark and discovering the secrets of the Nova 6 program and like the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? But the thing is, right, so this mission, Numbers, it was the first time that child me ever heard about, ever discovered a place that whenever I look at the City of Lust, yeah, my brain, it fires the same signals. Kowloon Walled City. Now, what is Kowloon City? Well, TLDR for you, it was a city in Hong Kong that all the way up until its demolition in April 1994 had an estimated peak population of 35,000 to 50,000 residents, all living in an area around the size of 2.6 hectares. That's 0.026 kilometers. Yeah, where most other cities built outwards, Kowloon, it built upwards. It was a dark, cramped, wet, urban hodgepodge Jenga construction of houses, schools, businesses, religious sites, pipes, cables. Now, how something like this can possibly exist? Surely the government has to get involved and put a stop to it because it isn't constructionally safe at all. Well, to cut a long story very short, Kowloon City existed in this weird legal grey area thanks to disagreements between the British and Chinese governments. So it was just left to exist and self-govern. I don't want you to get it twisted though. It wasn't like Mad Max or like Wild West anarchy every single second of every single day. Like, it's not like there was chaos and violence everywhere. Of course, there were elements of it, but for the most part, people just got on and went about their daily lives pretty peacefully. Still though, it wasn't a nice place to live. The environment was horrible. And I'll take all of this and times it by like 20 billion. No sunlight, no orientation, no identity. This is what I think living in New York City, the City of Lust, is like. Because just look at this. It's a sprawling mess of buildings all on top of each other everywhere. Now, sure, okay, by Ultrakill's housing market standards, this, all of this is probably as good as it was going to get. So if we were ranking the old City of Lust today, yeah, it would probably win. Well done, Minos. Gold star for you. But I don't think it's really fair to rank an old incarnation of a layer versus the current state of others. Now, I know real estate agents may try to retroactively sell you a house somehow, but me, I'm unemployed. I'm doing this properly. And that means that we need to judge what Lust would be like to move into today. Like, right now, in this current moment of existence, there's a massive kaiju walking around. And because of that, vibes, sure, okay, it looks great with the pink bisexual lighting, but how can I enjoy the view from my apartment with this bloke staring at me and a magnitude 20 million earthquake going off every single second? 3 points. Neighbors? Well, it is just more the same, like it's the same as the other layers, just with a little bit more population density, so 2 points. Because with a population this dense, you're gonna need like underground public transport like the London Underground. And holy shit, if that's anything to go by, then oh my god, the people here must be fucking grumpy. As for the HOA, obviously a Corpse of King Minos is on the loose. But then also, not my words, the words of the Ultrakill wiki, the Mind Flayer is a boss. Now, I know quite a few people in the Ultrakill community just had an accident in their trousers, but still, the Mind Flayer is another boss. And, more importantly, it's another fraud. I'm thinking 3 points, which means Lust has a grand total of 2 points. And with that, onto the next place in the brochure. My belly is so full. Oh, hello. Welcome to Gluttony. Right, so more real estate buzzwords incoming. The brochure, it calls this place so full of surprises. Just waiting to be devoured. But, more importantly, hello boss, I have a problem. A big problem. I'm being digested. Now, if you didn't know, Gluttony, it may or may not take place in, how can I put this? The corpse of King Minos' belly, which in and of itself causes massive logistical problems. If I get an Uber Eats order, like what am I meant to tell the driver? Yeah, just get vored by this big dead guy. No tip. Now, I know, trust me, I do, for lots of people, living in the guts of some creature, in the belly of the beast, they can imagine nothing better, like they're into that shit. Me personally, well yeah, I'm here to talk about houses, so right out the gate, after doing some more strolling around, this place, it looks and feels very like, sticky, like quite... moist is the word that comes to mind. So if we really think about it, right, like what happens to a house if it's left in a wet environment for far too long? Especially if it's got wooden parts, it starts to go a bit like funny. You know, like it starts to mold. Gluttony is what I imagine living in J.K. Rowling's house is like. And again, it's like, what is there to do in somebody's belly? Huh? Like, what are the activities? I think the only thing you can hope for, like, if you live in Gluttony, the only thing that you can cling on to hope for is that one day, something like, hey guys, my name's Mr. Beast, and whoever survives and digestive juices the longest wins a house in the last layer. But other than that, there's fuck all to do here. Like there's nothing. It's sticky. It looks like it smells really bad, and like, it's just horrible. And like, remember how I went on that walk a little bit earlier, person watching this video? I actually bumped into this guy. I had a chat with him. His family's been living here for 7 generations. And do you want to know what he says?
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole!
And this is the happiest man.
I hate the fucking place!
So, where does that leave us? Well, vibes, naught. Actually, no, I think that's a bit too good. -1. Neighbours? What neighbours? They've all been digested by stomach juices. Naught. And finally, the HOA. Of course, this is the place where one of the big 3 in the HOA spends his time. Gabriel Ultrakill. Of course he's down here. It makes so much sense. Like Gluttony, it sucks to live in already. Do you want to know what would make it worse? A guy with fucking daddy issues. Yes! But that's not all. It doesn't end with Gabriel. Nah. You see, Gluttony is also home to... Yeah, Minos Prime also lives down here. Because, again, of course he does. Like, how he ended up here, I don't know. I don't even think he knows either. But that's besides the point. Because I was wrong. It's not 1. Nah. 2 of the big 3 of the HOA live down here. So, that means HOA, 5 points. So in total, if we take the vibes and our neighbors, add them together, and then subtract the HOA score, because like these two, they'll be in your business constantly, Gluttony gets a big, full, gassy -6 points. On a real, thinking about this place, it makes me so violently ill. Get me out of here, please. Hello. We've arrived in Egypt. So, this place is described as sun-drenched, open-plan living. And, hey, okay, look, there's a pyramid, the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, Big Ben. Now, if we move here, if we move to Greed, yeah, we definitely aren't gonna run out of things to sightsee, like, that's for sure. This place, it's kind of tourist trappy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you can buy a I Love Greed shirt on, like, every single corner. But, more importantly, we have a problem. It's all covered in this sand. Well, not just usual sand. Now, God knows, sand that's hotter than the surface of the sun. Now, apparently it does get cooler at night because that's just how deserts kind of work. The average desert type beast. But that doesn't make up for the fact that living here, it's sandy. Like, really, really sandy. And if you've been to the beach or like just an area with lots of sand in general, yeah, you know how much of a problem this really is. It's coarse, it's rough. Like, true story, real quick. So, when I was younger, when I was an child, I was at this oceanside house thing with my friends, and then we saw a massive hill. Shit was like a sheer 90-degree drop. It was ridiculous. Now, us being the idiot children we were, we decided, hey, why don't we skateboard down this hill? Big mistake. And that still wasn't the worst part of my day. Yeah, I know. That honor belonged to me still pulling sand out of my arsehole for my trip to the beach the day before. And now, imagine that every single day. Another thing, now I just want to throw this out there. I've never been to construction school. I'm not a builder, but if there are any builders watching, I've got a question for you. How structurally stable is a house built on sand actually? Like, remember how earlier I said I'm a big fan of space in my house? I also like it when half of my house doesn't fall away when I close the fridge. I think this is a real problem. Also, the sheer heat of the goddamn sun. Imagine trying to sit outside during the day. Huh? As for our new neighbors, though, people you'd have over for a barbecue, or as we say in South Africa, guys you'd have over for a braai. I mean, the weather is pretty good for this kind of thing, so it's more than usual. And 2 new people, a blue orb and a person the Ultrakill wiki describes as having gamer posture. So, neighbors, I'm thinking a solid 4, honestly. Like, I'd discuss non-Euclidean geometry of this guy. Vibes, well, look, it is hot, it's sandy, your house may just collapse. But at the same time, right, well, deserts are just kinda cool, and holy shit, just look at this night sky. It kinda makes up for it. I'm thinking a big 3 points. And lastly, the HOA. Well, we're looking at the
Sisyphine insurrectionist.
V2 again, and who the fuck is the mysterious druid knight and owl? Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking 4 points. So all of that leaves us with a total of 3 points. But now, person watching this video, let's ditch the sand, thank God, and hop on board the SS Anne. Yar, me hearties. We have boarded a sturdy vessel, yar. Realizing 2014 is only 3 months away, yar. So, the ocean, huh? Forget building your house on land. Now, it's time for cruise liner living. Now, I know, trust me, I do. Before you board a cruise, there is a little bit of, like, stuff that you have to do. Before you board the... What is this boat even called anyway? What is the boat called in Ultrakill?
The Ferryman's Ferry.
You have to get your passport ready, your boarding pass. You have to incite the ancient skull blood magic. But still, once you're on board... Huh, okay. You know, I kind of like what we're working with here. For the first time in this entire video, do you want to know what word's popping up in my brain, in my mind? Comfortable. Like, there's carpets, there's actually bedrooms, there's a lot of books to read, there's the Gabriel channel, there's a pub. Now, I know, trust me, I do, for some people, oh no, I'm living on a boat, oh, I'm gonna get seasick, oh, I'm gonna vomit my lungs out. Oh. I mean, who do you think I am? Some woke, blue-pilled beta cuck? Huh? I don't get seasick, I make the seasick. Brother.
I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm a different breed to most. They don't make men like me anymore.
Though, okay, thinking about it now. For the pros this boat has, like the pub, thinking about it now, quite a few cons also coming up. First up, this boat, it does kind of like to sink. that's kind of a big problem. And secondly, there is a good chance that you're going to have to deal with the local sea life. Still though, I can't get past the fact that the boat will eventually sink. The books will get soggy. The carpets will also get soggy. So, because of that, for all the good vibes, the boat sinking kind of ruins it. Now, I've always wondered what it would be like to be in a boat underwater. It's kind of, that's basically what a submarine is. Dude, oh my god. But actually living in a vessel that is rapidly approaching the ocean floor, would you blame me for saying that the vibes would be a little bit stressy, to put it very lightly? So, 1 point. Looking at your neighbors, well, it is a cruise liner, so that means that you'd be in very close proximity to a lot of people. Maybe a bit too close. I like my personal space, personally. And as for new people, like your new neighbors, oh, what new conversations are we gonna have? Yeah, there's a clanker, and a statue. Now, I don't think we'd be having very riveting conversations with a stone. And, yeah, if I wanted to talk to a robot, I don't know, I'd fire up Grok.
2 points.
But what about the HOA? Well, here it's got 2 new members, the Hungry Serpent and the Ferretman. I mean, he is quite cool. Sure, he's quite cool, but he's also a fraud. Like the other frauds, he becomes fodder later on down the line. His clothes are fake, his jewelry's fake, and his shoes are too. 3 points, and that's a very generous 3 points. The Leviathan, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. So in total, Wrath, 0. It's a solid 0. And hey, good news, person watching this video. In the time it's taken us to work all that maths out, we've docked at the port of... Alright, so Heresy, it just says here red, in big red marker, just says red. Yeah, I kind of see why someone would make that assumption. But like, sure, okay, like red is quite cool. It's the color of love. Anger or danger. Ugh. You want to know where I think Heresy shines quite a bit? First up, the space is really, really good. Like, imagine a Walmart supercenter here. And secondly, the quality of the construction of the buildings here, brother. Very nice. So this layer, it's full of like lava and heat and all of that type of hell stuff. These buildings are still standing. So the original workers and builders and designers and architects, good job. I salute you. But then at the same time, since we're talking about these buildings, they're a lot more, how can I put this? Ceremonial, like ritualistic compared to what you want in your house. Like, you know, like comfort, like a nice vibe. Like I don't want to wake up in my house one day and then, oh my god. Oh, and also, how fucking irritating would it be having one of these next to your house? I'm just trying to watch House. Shut up. Now, sure, okay, just like living inside someone's stomach, I think some people might like this ceremonial kind of thing, you know, like especially people who like to LARP as goth e-boys on Twitter. But I hate to say it, nah, that's not me. And like the vibes of this place, the vibes I'm getting, they're just a bit like, just a bit like judgmental. And don't even get me started on the local DJ. Oh my god. And then, right, it's warm too. Like really, really, really warm. Looking at averages, I reckon that this place is probably the warmest place to live out of every single place. And like, what happens when people get too hot? They get irritated, they get cranky. This whole place probably reeks of sweat. But most importantly, Heresy is also the HOA stronghold. Why? Well, A, the DJ, and B,
Your garage door is the wrong shade of white.
this guy, it's prime. So remember how earlier I said that Gabriel and Minos were 2 out of the 3 big dogs of the HOA? Say hello to the third one, the biggest dog. Sisyphus Prime doesn't take shit.
I have to break your neck. It's just the way it is.
So, because of that, HOA score, 6 points. And as for the vibes and your neighbors, vibes, I'm thinking a light 2. Yeah, the heat really kills it. Neighbors, yeah, 1 point. Again, the heat. Everybody's probably like pretty miserable here and really sweaty. So in total, that gives Heresy -3 points. But now, person watching this video with Heresy behind us, my Codex Astartes Uma's Facebook, I think it's time to have a look at our last potential home location, hopefully. Now, violence, where to begin? The brochure says it's very, very white, like really, really, really white. But also, it's in bloody England. Hey, come on, lad. Where's your footy? Where's your pub? Where's your Greggs? I love me some proper British grandmate.
This Calypso, it is fucking minging.
Now, a bit of beak law here for you real quick. Sure, in the big 2026, I live all the way down here in South Africa. But growing up, I actually lived in England. Shout out Cheam. my ends, bruv. So, if anything, right, thinking about living in violence, I've been hit with this wave of nostalgia. Like the brochure, right? The brochure just calls it like Berleng. our Famalam, it's a madness. And also, right, just like lots of places in England, you can go to a museum, you can go to a park, you can have a fight with your new neighbours, the Guttermen and the Gutter Tank. But, okay. Look, I'm aware of the dropping of the truth nuke. With all the pros of living in a place like England, there are also a lot of cons. It's also England.
Guys, there's fucking loads of pterodactyls in England, mate. We're fucked.
But surely it can't get any worse, right?
It can. You want to get shanked, bro?
Yeah, so how can I talk about violence without talking about the Big Benjamin? Just like the HOA Skellington, bro is massive. Once in a lifetime viewing, a skyline feature you've never seen before. It's like an antenna to heaven. But unlike the Corpse of King Minos, Benjamin is stuck in place. So that makes me think that from an HOA perspective, he probably can't do his job properly. He does have a massive laser cannon though, so I guess that means, I don't know, you better make sure that your bins, your garbage bags, make sure your garbage bags are the right color. And hey, speaking of the HOA, hello, Mr. Minotaur. So, where does all of that leave us? Well, starting with vibes. You know what I'm thinking for vibes? Low-key, I'm thinking of 4. Neighbours, well, it is true that technically the Guttermen are classified as bosses, so ruling them out, it's more the same, and it is in England, so it is a mixed bag. On the one hand, you may run into the friendliest person you've ever known, but then, on the other, you might run into a complete dickhead. So, 2 points. And lastly, violence's HOA. The Minotaur, Benjamin, the Gutterman. They're also frauds, by the way. Oh, wait, hang on. Who the fuck is Big Johninator? All in all, yeah, it is a pretty stacked card, to be honest. So, I'm thinking 4 points. So, in total, violence, 4 plus 2 minus 4, that gives you 2 points. But now, since we've looked at all of our potential housing options, it's time to make a decision. Where are we going to live? I think we should consult our highly scientific ranking method. Prelude, 3. Limbo, 0. Lust, 2. Gluttony, -6 points. Greed, 3. Wrath, 2. Heresy, -3. And violence, 2. We've got a tie for first place. According to my highly scientific and accurate and not subjective at all ranking system, the best places to live in Ultrakill are the Prelude, somehow, and Greed. You know, I think it's time for a person watching this video. It's tiebreaker time. Okay, heads is Greed, tails is Prelude. Greed is the best place to live in Ultrakill. Yes! W Greed! It's time to call up Filth and Friends. It's sun-drenched open plan living for us. Yes! Sand everywhere! Yes! Yes! Though, do you want to know what would really throw a spanner in the works here, right? What if, before I upload this video, you know Fraud? What if Fraud comes out? I heard it's coming out tomorrow. As for the worst place to live, though, well, that one belongs to Gluttony. Because of course it does.